Hi, so these are my Saucony Triumph 19s that I got in early December, and I did a bunch of runs in these both in Florida and in the UK when I was over there for Christmas. I ran from about 4 miles all the way up to half marathons. I ran indoors and outdoors in warm and cold weather. I ran on treadmill, I ran on trail. So overall I think I've got a pretty good feel for these shoes and what I like and don't like about them. In terms of what I like, they're incredibly comfortable, nice soft landing, well cushioned here in the tongue, nice good heel protection, and overall a very comfortable shoe for long slow running up till, for me, a distance of about 16-17 kilometers, so about 10 miles. After that I started to feel the weight of these a little. I like a light shoe. These are 10.2 ounces for a US size 9, so they are quite a heavy shoe, and in general they didn't feel heavy until I got over a longer distance. Things I didn't like, things I didn't think I liked. When I was running with them first in Florida and it was 82 degrees, my feet got really warm in these, and I couldn't focus on the good things about them because I was so hot. But when I got them over to Scotland and I was running in the cold weather there, I was really grateful for them. Also, I'd hoped to run these perhaps as my marathon race pace shoe as I started to pick up distances in my training, maybe start, 5-6 miles and take it all the way up to 20 miles at marathon race pace. And I don't think they're the right shoe for that. I think I've got better shoes for that. But if you're looking for a daily trainer or a long slow run shoe, you don't mind the extra weight, you're not in too hot a climate, then I think they're a fantastic shoe. I was really pleasantly surprised by them. If you want to get a feel for my impressions as I did each of the runs, I ran I think 5-6 times in them, then the rest of this video covers what I thought immediately after each run, and so you get a feel for my views at the time.
I'm kind of beat up after a half marathon race at the weekend, and so I guess this is kind of an ideal time to try out these shoes. I think they're meant for that kind of purpose when you're tired, your legs are sore, and they've got tons of cushion. They're kind of like the Lexus RX 350 of running shoes. The first half a kilometre I run in any run feels like crap anyway, so no comment on the shoes at the moment. I'll get back to you after a kilometre. Okay, so I've just finished the first kilometre, starting to feel a little better. Just under 6 minutes, so took it fairly easy. My feet are really hot in here. I don't have the thinnest pair of running socks I've got on, but they're not the thickest either, and I've run in them in a pile of other shoes. And this is easily the hottest my feet have been in a pair of running shoes. So that's a couple of miles done now, 3.2 kilometres. I'm just going to turn round and I'll just do 4 miles. Certainly it's a cushion landing. They remind me a bit of the Hoka Clifton 8s. And it's got that same kind of wide feel when you land. A lot of the shoes I run in, I've got the endorphin line, the Shift, the Speed and the Pro, and it all feels like a very thin landing when you're on them, and obviously they've got the speed roll. This is much more of a broad, flat, you feel all of the front of your foot on the landing. Certainly very cushioned. The heat's an issue for me, they are quite heavy, but I'm going to do a couple of miles back now. I'll pick up the pace. I'm planning to run a marathon next July at a pace around about 5:30 per kilometre. So I ran the last mile and a bit at that pace, and it was a really nice surprise. There's a real bit of bounce off these shoes when you pick the pace up. So that was really encouraging. Hello, welcome to Glasgow. I was released from quarantine this afternoon after a negative PCR test result, which you have to take when you travel over here. So I celebrated by taking the Triumph 19s downstairs to the gym. I ran 7 miles, just finished, and very positive. All the heat issues I talked about in the Florida climate were non-existent here. I had lighter socks on, but certainly very comfortable. No problems with my feet at all. I ran the first 5k at a moderate 6:10 pace per kilometre, and then after that I was doing intervals the rest of the way, so I would do 1 minute at 5:27, 1 minute at 6:10. Shoes picked up the pace nicely, no issues at all with them. So could be a very comfortable daily trainer for me. Just give you a close-up look at the shoes. I kind of like this colourway, the grey and orange, a little bit of green on it here. Nice strong high heel. This tongue is very, very thick, and so you can tie this as tight as you like, and you know, you're really not feeling it on the top of your foot. Wide toe box, I feel, which I like. There's the heel kind of carved out bit here. So a nice looking shoe for a heavy shoe. Like, I mean, I think it disguises the fact that it's a big heavy shoe pretty well. Hello, as promised, just back in from a 10k outside in the wet and windy, wintry weather here in Glasgow. Lots of alliteration there. I am beginning to see the appeal of these shoes. I really enjoyed the first half of the run. Ran to the local running store, which was about 2 miles away, to get a pair of gloves because it's freezing here. And that first half of the run, they were really very comfortable, nice landings, almost bouncy. Paradoxically, compared to Florida, I was grateful for my feet being kept warm by them. I found that towards the end, 6 to 10 kilometers, I was feeling the weight of these shoes, and you know, I was comparing them to last night when I ran home from my daughter's house in my Saucony Freedom 3s, and I mean, they're just a dream, the Freedom 3s, and so it was such a contrast. But you know, that was only 2 miles last night, so I'm still not sure about these shoes. I think part of the tiredness that I'm feeling at the end of runs is still the travel and my old body and the international travel. So I'm going to keep persevering because that first half of the run was really nice. See, I got some mud on them today. Went out again here in Glasgow. I set out just to do like a slow recovery run, 10 to 13 kilometers, but felt really good in them. So I kept going. I ended up running a half marathon at a very slow pace. I really enjoyed them for the vast majority of the run. About kilometre 17 and a half, I really started to feel the weight of them. Again, I think I'm probably still tired from travelling, so I don't want to attribute it all to the shoes, but started to feel heavy towards the end. But really nice landing on these shoes, very comfortable, no jarring at all. So I could see the appeal of these shoes as a long, slow, easy run shoe. I couldn't sleep tonight, so the hotel here is a 24-hour gym, and I went down and ran on the treadmill with the Triumphs one more time. I ran 9 miles tonight, so that took it up to 40 miles now of running these, which I think is more than enough for a good first impression. I ran the first 7 miles at 10-minute mile pace, so just a kind of standard long, easy run pace, and really comfortable. Mile 8 and a little bit more than that, I took it up to my target marathon pace of 5 minutes 27 per kilometre. That's like I think it's just a little below a 3:50 marathon pace, so that's what I'm going to be training my marathon pace runs at. I wanted to see how the shoe was at that, and very comfortable. It picked up well, didn't fight me with the pace. Again, still pretty comfortable. Then for the last kilometre, I ran a sub 5 minute kilometre pace, so a sub 8 minute mile pace, and they were fine. I mean, I didn't feel like, with some shoes you're really enjoying picking up the pace with them, and these weren't those kind of shoes, but that's not what they're designed for. But they were okay for doing that. So in conclusion, for me, are these a pair of shoes that I'd be very happy with for long, easy runs? Yes. Are these shoes that I would train for at my marathon race pace at as I pick up the mileage on that? I'm not sure. I think I could, but I think there are probably better shoes for it. But overall, I've been pleasantly surprised with the Saucony Triumph 19. And if you're comfortable with a slightly heavier shoe for longer, easy runs, then I'd thoroughly recommend it.